guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's episode 2 of D&D Diaries, and I'm so excited to share this with you. Stick with it. So last time, the last episode of D&D Diaries was just a intro. I have my computer in my lap, so I can read you all the notes that I have. Last one was just a intro where you got introduced to the 4 main characters. Half-elven brothers, Carol Baskin and Peleus Romero. And brothers in crime, well, siblings in crime, Gunlauda Holderheck, the female dwarven fighter, and Joker, the human blood hunter. Forgot to mention, Carol Baskin is a warlock, and Peleus Romero is a bard. So, where this story starts off is, basically, after many months of travel, the captain notices the first sight of land, and it is late evening by this point. It was relatively warm at sea, but as soon as they approach the dock, they begin to feel a more moderate temperature. As the captain brings in the boat to dock, the 4 seem cool, calm, and collected. But on the inside, they feel excited for the huge world of opportunities that awaits them. The captain docks the boat in a rough manner, leading to the group believe that he truly wasn't the greatest captain that ever sailed. As the group begins to walk down the gangway, they see a human woman who looks lower to moderate in social status. She screams, "Help, help, my house is under attack." Joker asks the group, "Do you want to help her?" And Gunlauda responds, "I want to see what I can get from that house." So the brothers agree that this woman deserves their help, and the party walks down a well-masoned cobblestone street and travels to the outskirts of the city. Peleus notices 2 dog-like creatures. He sees them, and, he looks at them and notices they aren't just dark in color, but they are darker than any black he's ever seen before. Just as they walk up to the shadowy creatures, they vanish into the darkness. Peleus looks to the rest of the group and says, "This isn't good." As they approach the house, one of the creatures runs out of the darkness and tries to bite Gunlauda, but somehow she manages to see it coming and deflect the creature's bite with the butt of her great axe. The next creature runs to attack Peleus. Peleus, caught off guard, takes a bite to the leg that magically knocks him to the ground, and he feels surprised and stunned. The fight quickly ensues, Gunlauda making hard and direct attacks against the creature. And for some reason, the animal is unable to get his teeth through the chainmail armor that she is wearing. The animal that attacked Peleus is quickly combated by Joker. Using his dagger, he was able to injure the mutt severely. With a blast of pure energy from his hand, Carol was able to hit one, and he noticed that when he normally did his Eldritch Blast against a foe, it would force them back. But this creature was strong enough to lean into the blast and be unfazed by its position. The group finally slays the creatures, and after the hard-fought battle, Peleus sees another humanoid individual fleeing the scene. Unbelievably quick. Okay, I wanted to make this seem unnatural. So as soon as I said that you see someone fleeing the scene, my friend Brett, who plays Peleus, goes, "Can I catch him?" Or says, "I run after him." And I said, "He is running. But you've never seen a human run this fast before. You've never seen a humanoid run this fast before," is what I was trying to tell him. It would be impossible for you to catch up to him. He is too far away, and he is running too fast. So the woman, overcome with joy and relief, gives the adventurers 3 gold pieces each and tells them that this is all she can give, but they have her gratitude. Joker then looks at the creatures, and he somehow manages to skin off the pelts of the beasts, and basically these are shadow mastiffs that they just fought. They knew, Brett is the only one that probably knew this because he's DM'd it before, but he didn't. He was good. He role-played as his character. He didn't use his prior knowledge to know that these were shadow mastiffs. So my friend Seth, who's playing Joker, he takes the pelts of these beasts, and he goes, "Do they have any special abilities?" So I write on a piece of paper, "You get +2 stealth in darkness." So when you roll a stealth check, you take your stealth, and then you add 2 if you have this pelt on you, and it's dark outside, or you're in a shadow or something. So they group walks back into town. First off, Joker, before he harnesses these pelts, he runs into the house, and he says, "What do I see?" I say, "Roll a perception check." He rolled well. He rolled like an 18 or 19 or something like that. And I said, "You see that this woman is dirt poor. There's nothing here of value, and there's nothing worth taking." And he goes, "I'll walk out of the house." Because I knew when they started, they wanted to rob this woman. But this woman is poor, so that's why I knew from the beginning this would not end well for them. Basically, they then decide that they're going to go back into town. Peleus did take 4 vials of blood from the Shadow Mastiffs. They walk into the town, and they remember that it's split into 3 districts. Peleus went to the historical district, to the alchemist, and he realized that all the potions are too expensive for him, but he does sell the alchemist the 4 vials of Shadow Mastiff blood, and the alchemist cleans his vials and gives the vials back to him. He dumps them into like a barrel and gives them back the vials. He walks across, and he sees a large mansion that is gated in. He walks up to one of the guards that are in front of the gate and asks, "Hey, what's the deal with this?" The guard simply responds, "It's the mayor's house, and I wouldn't get any closer to the gate if I was you." Peleus then thanks the guard for his time and for easing his curiosity. Joker then made his way over to the slums district, to the nearest weapons shop, to walk into the store, noticed a half-orc man behind the counter, and purchased a short sword and 2 poison darts. Poison on the darts has been on for a visible long period of time. Joker then leaves the store and heads to the tavern in this district of the city. Gunloda went to the weapons shop in the docks district. She was greeted by an elvish man. After a fair amount of small talk, Gunloda bought a finely crafted spear from the elf, and the elf was willing to charge less for it because it was on his shelf for a decent period of time. She also noticed a small child who was skipping around the city with a belt pouch that is loosely jangling on his hip. So she walked in front of the child hit her, and when the child hit her, she grabbed off the belt pouch. She rolled a 16 on her sleight of hand check. I was like, okay, it's a dumb child, and it's loose hanging on. A 10 would have done it. Carol was just kind of sitting in the tavern, just enjoying her time, having a good one. Joker walked into the poor tavern at the slums and tried to get a free drink, because at this point he has 1 gold piece to his name. He failed miserably, and as he was leaving, there was a dwarvish man in the back, and the dwarf seems rather depressed. Joker sits beside him and asks him what's bothering him. This dwarf is, at this point, they do not know who he is. But I know him, because he's an NPC I made, named Brottor. Brottor. And he says that his family's dagger has been stolen by a local gang known as the Flaming Serpents. He also explains the gang to Joker and says that they're a loose correlation of gangs that used to be competing for territory all over the dock city of Unda, but they have now joined together and are considered one faction. The whole group meets up. Joker brings Brottor to the group, and Gunloda used her criminal contact to figure out where the dagger is being stored. She figured out the dagger was being stored in a warehouse in the slums. Um, so naturally, they go to this warehouse. Joker and Carol, they notice that there were no guards. They go up to the sides of the it's like a double door kind of opening, and they go up to the sides of the doors, and they kind of push it open a little bit, and then Gunloda just busts in, and Brottor just was right after her. Now, Brottor is a dwarven barbarian who was, actually, I have his character sheet right here, so I brought my notes in case I would need it. And they were level 2 at this time, just want to let you know. So Brottor, he was the Outlander background, armed with his great axe and hand axe and javelin. But what did he do? Oh, he chose the Totem Warrior when he leveled up. Because they did level up at the end of this, but I'll get there in a second. So they realize that this warehouse is pretty... I mean, I described the setting first. Warehouse is an empty warehouse, and it looks immaculate. Like, super clean. But 8 men in dark hooded cloaks drop from the ceiling, and they start throwing darts at the heroes. And when it comes to get up close, they pull out a scimitar and they start swinging it at them. During this fight, only one person went down, I think. I wanted to make this fight medium. Medium. So they fought off all these guys. Blah, 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 blah. They notice that on the forearms, this area of the arm, they notice a tattoo that I will put an image up of here. They notice a tattoo that reminds them of a snake on fire. Wow, the flaming serpents, a snake on fire. Figure that one out. Brottor at this point tells the adventurers after they killed off these 8 guys. Before they totally kill off all these guys, one of the last thugs, as Peleus stabs him in the chest, he yells, "Shut the doors!" And they immediately hear their doors just start shutting. Brottor then explains what his dagger truly looks like to the group. It is dwarven forged. It is a beautiful Damascus steel with a massive emerald in the pommel of the handle. So that's like if I'm holding a knife like this, that'd be at this point of the. And then it has 3 smaller emeralds in the blade guard. So that's up here. If I'm holding look at the blades here. There's like a little thing right there. But he also mentions that money is no option. So when they're in this warehouse, they notice stairs up in the far left-hand corner, and they notice a door about halfway up on the right-hand side. And they decide that they're going to go in through the door. And Gunloda busts through the door with her shield in her hand and absolutely murders this door. And then they get to a stone door that has no lock, holes, nothing. Oh, important information. Brett's character Peleus found a key on one of the thugs. A key to open what? I don't know. They don't know. I know, and I can't tell you because if any of them see this video, I don't want them finding out what it opens. So they come to a door, a stone door. Written in the door in a rune that none of them can understand except for Carol. Because Carol picked Cora, my sister who's playing Carol, picked an invocation that she can read all scripts. None of the other characters could read this, but she could. And the script simply says, I am always hungry. I must be fed. And the finger I lick will soon turn red. So they look at it. And finally, Joker says, fire. And the door magically, it's a door like this, and it just magically moves into the wall. And they come up to another door. And the door says, what comes from an egg and peels like a fruit? It can sizzle like bacon and slender to boot. So Peleus immediately just shouts, a snake, the door opens. Wow, the flaming serpents, and the answer were fire and snake. Door opens, and Peleus immediately notices a chest. The door opens to a room, and he notices a chest in the back left-hand corner of the room. And he immediately was like, I'm going to go see if my key opens it. And I was like, you're dumb. He runs straight up to this chest, and as soon as he runs in the room, there are two big old brutes sitting on at a table. See, when he walked in the room, he could see the back left-hand corner, and he could only see about to here on the right-hand side. Well, he didn't know that there was a whole table over there, and two big old boys were sitting there drinking beer and having a good time. So, he runs in, blah, 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 blah. They notice that he's there, and they get up from their drinks, walk over to him, and they both have their morning stars ready to swing at him. And then Peleus casted Minor Illusion, and he worded me like this. I am going to pull down my clothes to show them that I have the same tattoo as them, but I'm going to cast Minor Illusion to make it look like there is a snake jumping out of my arm, like this. And I said, nice. I rolled to see what they would think. One of them was like, ha, funny joke. The other one was like, oh crap, that a snake. So basically he fooled one, didn't fool the other, and then immediately the next round the guy passed his intelligence save, I think it was, or wisdom save or something like that. Immediately they fight these dudes off, and as soon as one of them kills one of the dudes, Joker immediately casted Puppet Master. I forget what the actual spell is called. Casted Puppet Master, and as the dude's falling, the dude took a swing at his buddy, hit him, and dealt like 8 damage. Because the swings of these things of their morning stars were 2d10 plus 3, I think. Now, if that's the case, he rolled like an 11 or something to hit his buddy. But his buddy wasn't hit at all. They just focused on one dude, and they went in and focused on another dude. And then Joker shot him straight between the eyes with his pepper box. And they realized that criminals up the stairs, they had the hatch locked. They're not going anywhere. They magically closed the doors. Didn't open any of the chests or anything. The only thing that anyone did in the room was Joker sat down and started drinking the ale that was sitting there. And they got a long rest out of it. And they also got to level up. I've not talked to Brett or Seth since they've leveled up. But my sister decided to pick Pact of the Tome as her pact boon. So she got 3 cantrips from her Book of Shadows, which were nice. And the only thing that happened was my mom got got an action surge, and she got no, she didn't get an action surge. She got an improved critical. So for her, if she rolls a 19 or a 20, both are critical hits. So, they just decide to rest. And that's where they stopped. So, basically things they need to know are... Oh, and the 3 important things they need to know. They met Brottor to find his dagger. They're fighting off a gang in a warehouse. And Peleus has a key that he doesn't know what it opens yet. That is pretty much it. Another thing that's interesting to note, Joker gave Brottor the other, because there were 2 Shadow Mastiffs that they killed, so Seth got both the pelts. So Brottor has a Shadow Mastiff pelt, and Seth's character Joker has a Shadow Mastiff pelt. So the only things that they have left to do is check the chest for the dagger. I imagine that's what they're going to do. And then if it's not there, they're probably going to go upstairs and see if it's up there.